First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to those great millstone, while unto truth, and also to those elect that scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great powerful lesson, the spirit and the power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is news and prophecies and events. So I like to say Shalom to all our listen and learn. Hope to sweep you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I have a few news articles here, but we'll start here first with the one by Yahoo News or USA Today. It said plane crashes 2025. So how many have there been in the U.S.? How many people have been unalive? Let's see here. This one here, it says a Delta airline regional jet carrying 80 people crashed in Toronto on Monday, the second high-profile commercial aviation incident of 2025. Said no one was killed in Monday crash, which happened when the Delta jet crashed and apparently flipped while landing in Toronto. Said Pearson International Airport. Said the plane, which had departed from Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport in Minnesota, was carrying 76 passengers and 4 crew members. Said the Federal Aviation Administration said of them, 18 people were taken to the hospital with injuries, according to Todd Atkins, Toronto Pearson Airport fire chief. Let's see what else we got. It says experts say aviation remains extremely safe, but Monday incident comes on the heels of a crash outside Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport last month that killed 67 people. Said it was the first fatal crash of a U.S. airliner in almost 16 years. So we're seeing right now, we're constantly getting these reports coming in just about every day about some type of crash, some type of airline incident, out there colliding with one another. This one right here in Toronto, it flipped over, said the wing caught on fire or whatever happened. So we're going to constantly see these things left and right. So these things are constantly increasing. So 2025 is very prophetic. I think we about February the 19th, and these things are just constantly picking up. Ever since 2025 came in, everything has just been rolling, and one thing about it, though, is more to come. So let's get this one right here. It's another one I want to get. It's another one. Let's go to this one here. This one here is about about Mexico. Let's get this one right here. Let's open it up first. It said U.S. Special Forces landing in Mexico to train Marine infantry. So they're already saying that they're just down there to train these Mexican Marines, to help combat this Mexican cartels. They're just only down there to train them. But we already knowing that if this Mexican cartel shoot at them, they're going to shoot back. Then we're going to have a all-out full-scale war. They already that's what they exactly want. They want to wipe out the Mexican cartel. And one thing about it is that we already know that we have a major build-up, military presence on the southern border. And one thing about it, we know that these things are constantly heating up. Let's just get a little bit of this one right here. This right here, it's just caught my eye through the spirit. The Lord said, "Here, set up watchmen, warn them for me." It says here, it's El Paso, Texas. It says a Mexican Senate commission has approved the entry of members of the U.S. Army, the 7th Special Forces Group airborne into the country starting this week. So this is getting ready to happen this week. It said the Americans will come fully armed as part of a mission to train the Mexican Navy. That's in Spanish, infantry, I guess. De Marata. I think so. It's talking about the Mexican Marines. So it's on a conventional and non-conventional type of combat. So we already know right here that these things right here, it can pick up. This could, there already is rumors that they want to do a soft invasion of Mexico. So see, now they're going in under the guise of they is going down there to train them. They're not going to attack the Mexican cartel, but while they are fully armed, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I know they going for training. Why is everybody training? Why is everyone preparing for war? One thing about it, we're not ignorant of Satan devices. So also, I had another one here about Elon Musk, about this. We're not going to read this one. It said Elon Musk is right about widespread Social Security fraud. So this right here has popped up. And also, he's saying he found, I think, billions of dollars, fraud money, all sorts of things that they constantly doing it. They're laying off certain IRS employees. A lot of things they constantly talking about. They are finding out. They are trying to reshape the government. But one thing about it, we're already knowing that we're very close to what all hell breaking loose. And one thing about it, we're seeing right now these things are constantly picking up. They're constantly increasing left and right. We're living in some perilous time. You know what I'm saying? These things, some difficult times. Some great tribulation is coming. And, as we speak, these things are speaking loud and clear. A lot of people still are unawares, and these events and these calamities are constantly taking place left and right. At the end, it shall speak and not lie. So these prophecies, they're speaking right now. Things is fulfilling. We're living in the last days. A lot of people are still unbelievers. Still are going on with their daily life. And these things are constantly happening right before our eyes. So now let's go ahead and get a precept. I think that's all I had there. Let's get a precept or two, then we'll start today's video. So we seeing that a lot of these crashes, have been happening, 2025. We know what happened in 2020, I think around 23 or 22, when they had these train derailments and these chemical fires, and they had these meat processing plant, they was going up in smoke, all of a sudden now we seeing all these different wildfires, and which in fact we call them land grabs. They talking about reshaping. Yeah, they reshaping for a new world order. So we're just gonna read the first verse, and then we're gonna move on to get one more precept, and we'll start today's video. It says here, 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1 said, this know also that in the last days perilous time shall come. So one thing about it, we know we're living in some perilous times and some very difficult times, great tribulation, Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation. We know that it's fast approaching. We go over these things left and right, even though we sound like a broken record. But the Lord said, warn them for me. And also we know that the famine of the word is fast approaching. So it's an exploration on what we are doing. The internet gonna be down. No more going in the houses and byways. No more making these video pistol. And one thing about it, it's time to seek the Lord while he can be found, because we are running out of time. Constantly warning you, amen. These are the last days. There will be very difficult times. That's what it says in the NLT. So, man, we're very close to these times are coming upon us that we have never seen before. Even though we sound like a broken record once again, but these are the times that we're living in. And the men of the Lord, we really do not care. The Lord said constantly we have to be repetition each and every day. And one thing about it, it's not going to be no excuse. Or saying I didn't know, what I'm saying? It won't be no excuse. And one thing about it, when the Lord show up, there will be no more talking. So now, let's go here to today's video. And after the video, we'll start the lesson, and I hope that you will get edified.
Are plane crashes actually increasing, or are we just more aware of them? This Toronto crash was the fourth major aviation incident in North America in 2025. And so far this year, 87 accidents have been reported across the US, including the country's first fatal crash of a commercial airliner in almost 16 years. Investigations into individual crashes are continuing, but there are concerns about departmental cuts. Officials warn of understaffing due to low pay, long shifts, intensive training, and mandatory retirements. And Trump is continuing to fire hundreds of Federal Aviation Administration employees. Then there's extreme weather. Toronto was hit by 2 storms in the days before the Delta Airlines plane flipped, and thousands of flights had been disrupted over the weekend. But experts say airports are well equipped to deal with challenging conditions. It may scare you to see the news, but the reality is that air travel is still statistically the safest form of transport. You're more likely to have an accident on the way to the airport than actually flying. Welcome to Inside 1600, where we bring you the latest updates straight from Washington. Today we have 4 major breaking stories. First, the Mexican Senate has reportedly allowed U.S. Special Forces to enter Mexico to combat cartel violence. This move has sparked debate, with some calling it necessary to fight organized crime, while others warn it threatens Mexico's sovereignty. The decision marks a major shift in U.S.-Mexico security cooperation. Next, DOGE, led by Elon Musk, has uncovered that the U.S. Treasury lost track of a shocking $4.7 trillion due to missing tracking codes. With pressure mounting, lawmakers are calling for a full investigation into how such a massive sum slipped through the cracks. Meanwhile, Border Czar Tom Homan has urged the DOJ to investigate Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for allegedly advising illegal immigrants on how to avoid ICE capture. AOC defends her actions, claiming she was simply informing people of their rights, but the DOJ is now weighing whether to pursue an investigation. And now, a major shakeup at the Social Security Administration. Acting Commissioner Michelle King has resigned after a dispute with DOGE. King, a 30-year SSA veteran, refused to grant DOGE access to critical Social Security data, leading to her departure. The White House has since appointed Leland Dudick as the interim head, with Frank Bisignano nominated for the permanent role. Musk claims fraud within the SSA is rampant, citing suspicious payments to individuals over 150 years old. This resignation could be a turning point in uncovering just how deep the fraud goes. That's all for today's updates. Be sure to check back for more breaking news right here on Inside 1600. Like, share, and follow for more.
So is Americans getting ready to receive $5,000 stimulus check from Donald Trump? The answer may be yes.
Under consideration, a new concept where we give 20% of the DOGE savings to American citizens.
According to Elon Musk on X, people were asking him, hey, all the money that we're saving right now due to DOGE and cutting the programs out, could DOGE somehow turn this into somehow a stimulus payment or some sort of refund back to the American people? Because money has already been allocated to the government. Elon said, listen, let's talk to Donald Trump to see if that's something that he may be willing to do. What's most interesting about this is not just about the idea of people collecting the $5,000 stimulus check. The idea is that Trump is a huge component on thriving the economy, making sure there's enough money in the economy to be able to stimulate it without having to print money. Now, this is not inflationary. This will not be an inflationary play where typically the government will go ask the Treasury to, hey, send out these checks. This go round, it would be more or less just taking the money that's already been budgeted and allocated for and sending it out to the American people. Elon Musk have already collected about $50 billion. You know, people can use this money to go back and build businesses.
So we seeing right now, this man coming with talking about, it may be, it's just reports, that saying that it might be another stimulus may be coming out, speaking these smooth words, but war is in his heart. So now, let's go here first. Let's go here and get another quick precept. Let's go to Luke chapter 21. Luke chapter 21, we probably get one more. Luke chapter, not meant to be a long lesson today. Luke chapter 21 and verse 22, because, we're seeing that now these these prophecies are right now are what fulfilling, and they're lining up just like clockwork. It says here, Luke chapter 21 and verse 22 says, "For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled." So we're seeing it right now. These things are very prophetic. These things are constantly lining up left and right. It's more obvious and clear that these, things are what, we're almost at that sad measure. The Lord is getting ready to go ahead and bring forth his enterprise. Is the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. So we seeing that we're in of an age, we're in of a temporal, of this temporal world. Esau is the end of this earth age, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. All things is going to be fulfilled right before what? The great and glorious return of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. Let's read in the NLT. It said, "For those will be the days of God's vengeance, or Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua vengeance, and the prophetic words of the scriptures will be fulfilled." So we're right there. When you go to Matthew chapter 24 and verse 14, you know what I'm saying? This gospel shall be preached throughout the four corners of the earth, then shall the end come. So all things will be fulfilled. So we coming upon that said measure. We're very close. And one thing about it, it's time to seek the Lord. It's time to repent and return to your true power. Let's go here. Because one thing about it, we know that the famine of the word is fast approaching. We're here. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 12. We'll start up around verse 22. Ezekiel chapter 12. Let's start up at verse 21. We'll read down. It said, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, verse 22, "Son of man, said, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying, the days are prolonged and every vision faileth." So that's what a lot of people right now saying, that they everything like seems like it's not, nothing is happening. People don't see it. We seeing that the prudent man foresees the evil. So let's read this in the NLT. It says, "Son of man, you heard that proverb they quote in Israel, time passes and prophecies come to nothing." So that's what, these unbelievers, that's the way they think. They thinking right now that, hey, time steady going on. Everything, we're eating good, we're drinking good. Everything is happy-go-lucky. But one thing about it is, it's going, when they say peace and safety, and whole hell is getting ready to break loose, when you're in your security, when you're comfortable, when you're not watching, when you're not being circumspect, when you're not redeeming the time wise, these things are coming upon you at a fast pace. The Lord said he will come like a thief in the night when you're not watching, when you're unaware. That's how the Lord is going to show up. Verse 23 said, "Tell them, therefore, thus said the Lord power, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel, but say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effects of every vision." So, hey, we're coming upon this time. It's reading the NLT. It says here, "Tell the people, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I will put an end to this proverb, and you will soon stop quoting it." Oh, man, it's beautiful. It said, "Now give them this new proverb to replace the old one." So the time has come for every prophecy to be fulfilled. So we're at that time that all prophecies are getting ready to be fulfilled. We're constantly warning you left and right. These things are constantly winding up. It's better the end of a thing than the beginning. So we're at the end of this thing. Verse 24, whether you believe it or not. "For there shall be no more any vain vision nor flattering divination. So within the house of Israel," this, hey, man, we're here, man. Hey, no more. No more. It's obvious and clear. Verse 25 says, "For I am the Lord, and so I will speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass, and it shall be no more prolonged. For in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the words, and I will perform it, says the Lord power, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua." Verse 26 says, "Again, the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say, the vision that he sees is for many days to come, and he prophesies of time that are far off. So that's exactly how these wicked 2/3 think, and also these heathen nations, this is not going to happen in my lifetime. A lot of people, they'll say it's not going to happen in my lifetime. Oh, it's already done happen. It's already going down. But one thing about it, though, you're in for a rude awakening. We're coming upon that time of trouble that you'll never, ever see ever again. It's going to top everything that you in known history. The Lord is getting ready to make it plain very soon. And, so a lot of people right now, that's what they're constantly saying. Oh, it's not getting there to happen. Everything is good. Everything is normal right now. There's nothing going back to say. This world is changing right before our, Also, the Lord is constantly accelerating time for what the elect say. Because, the days had to be short because there would be no flesh saved alive. This red devil would kill itself and everyone here, the entire planet. Verse 28 said, therefore say unto them, thus said the Lord power, there shall none of my words be prolonged any more, but the words which I have spoken shall be done, said the Lord power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh. So these things are coming to pass. We constantly warn you left and right, and the Lord is getting ready to make it plain upon the table very soon. Man, we are so very excited. The Lord is getting ready to make it good. So let's get this one more and we'll close out. Let's go here to our last and final script. Let's go here to 1 Peter. Let's go here to 1 Peter chapter. So let's go back in the Old Testament. 1 Peter, we'll close out here. 1 Peter chapter, one moment. 1 Peter chapter, it was in the New Testament. Salaki, y'all. 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 7. A little bit under the weather, a little bit sleepy too. Let's see here. It says here, 1 Peter chapter 7 and 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 7 said, but the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. So one thing about it, we got to be always watching. We got to have that sober mind, a stable mind. Wisdom and knowledge should be studied at the time. Also, redeeming the time while praying without ceasing. And right now it said, but the end of all things is at hand. The end of what? Of this eon. The end of what? Of age. A way that you see how things are going on right now. This is the temple world. Everything that you know and see is getting ready to be burnt up. It said, that's why the Lord said, I think it's in, what is that? It says in, I think it's in 1 Peter chapter 3, if I'm not mistaken, whereby it said that, all the elements will be burnt up. There will be no inhabitant left there. So that's why we got to be watching, the prophecy, the things are very prophetic now. We're living in a latter time now. The last day, we're seeing it happening right before our eyes. Let's read it once again. It says in the NLT, it says, the end of the world is coming soon. It said, therefore be earnest and disciplined in your prayers. So one thing about it, the end of this world as we know it, the end of an age, an end of an eon. So one thing about it, we're getting ready to go into another age, which in fact is the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. And one thing about it, we're seeing a lot of these events, a lot of these prophecies are speaking loud and clear. That's why we're constantly reporting the news each and every day. The Lord said, keep not silent. Warn them for me. That's where we at right now. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is News and Prophecies and Events. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.